Isaiah chapter 9, verse 1. Nevertheless, there will be no more gloom for those who are in distress. In the past, he humbled the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali. But in the future, he will honor Galilee of the nations, by the way of the sea beyond the Jordan. The people walking in darkness have seen a great light. On those living in the land of deep darkness, a light has dawned. You have enlarged the nation and increased their joy. They rejoice before you as people rejoice at the harvest, as warriors rejoice when dividing the plunder. For as in the day of Midian's defeat, you have shattered the yoke that burdens them, the bar across their shoulders, the rod of their oppressor. Every warrior's boot used in battle and every garment rolled in blood will be destined for burning, will be fuel for the fire. For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the greatness of his government and peace there will be no end. He will reign on David's throne and over his kingdom, establishing and upholding it with justice and righteousness from that time on and forever. The zeal of the Lord Almighty will accomplish this.
Well, it's really good to see you here this morning. Merry Christmas. And to you watching online as well. I hope you have a really wonderful day. My name's Liam. I'm also one of the pastors here at City Gates. And I want to start off with a question for you, right? Have you ever met your hero? Have you ever met your hero? Now, you know, Christmas time, often one of the things that we enjoy is chocolates, isn't it? So I thought maybe you, when you heard the word heroes, you thought of something like these. You know, one of these boxes of chocolates where we get all sorts. Dairy milk. Who likes dairy milks? I saw a hand go right to the back. I don't think I can throw that far without hurting someone. Oh, go on. Here we go, right in the front there. All right, okay, and then we've got a crunchy. Go on then, Mum, Merry Christmas. Oh. And then we got a fudge. A fudge, who likes fudges? Or Bob, it's coming your direction, okay? There we go. Oh, okay, a whisper. Who likes whispers? I haven't gone to this side yet, okay? Lydia, I'm aiming for Esther, okay? There we go. Oh, Ebenezer, sorry. Right, and what else? Double-decker. Okay, a bit more. Charlotte and Safi, you've waited very carefully there. Apologies, I'm going to go for it. Oh no, it's gone wrong. Let me find another one. Here we go. Better throw that time. Oh, there we go. What else? What else haven't we had? A twirl. Who likes twirls? Twirls. Go on, Grace. I'll play it safe this time. There you go. Thank you. Okay, caramel. I don't think we've had caramel yet, have we? Caramel. You guys have been having your hands up. Chaplings. Oh, there we go. Okay. You know, you get so many in these. There we go. Actually, cream egg. Cream egg, not too early for Easter. I'll play it safe at the front. Here we go. There we go. Okay, well, there's plenty more for other people, isn't there? Chocolates are one of the things that we enjoy at Christmas. And even, you get things like eclairs in these as well. You know, probably the worst option in the Heroes box, right? No, some eclairs are popular. I'm not going to throw these. They're pretty solid, so I'll leave them. These will be for later on. If you want to come and grab one, then you can do. But that question, basically, have you ever met your hero? Let me tell you about the story when I met my hero. I'm a football fan. I support Liverpool. And years ago, Liverpool got a new manager, a man coming up on screen called Jurgen Klopp. Quite known as like a kind of very like happy, kind of passionate manager, really charismatic. I thought, wow, that'd be very cool to meet Jurgen Klopp. And so I happened to be in Liverpool one time, and outside this hotel, there's a kind of big crowds kind of gathering around, that sense of, wow, something's going on. The Liverpool squad was staying at this hotel, so I hung around, I hovered around. I thought it'd be great if I could meet Jurgen Klopp. And I did get the opportunity to meet him. He stayed around for photos. Now, sadly, kind of in the ether of the internet, I have lost that photo. But I did meet him. You have to trust me. I did meet him. And I thought, this is going to be a great moment. But I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the day. Maybe Jurgen just woke up on the wrong side of bed. But he's really grumpy and just kind of reluctantly just kind of stood next to me and then just moved on to the next person. He looked a little bit like this on screen. that the picture was me with a massive smile on my face, Jurgen Klopp looking absolutely miserable. And so I got the picture, I met my hero, but did it live up to the hype? Is my life now better, richer, more satisfied because I met Jurgen Klopp? No. It was cool in the moment, and maybe I sent it to a few of my mates and things like that. It's a good story, but nothing more than that. Often we can think of meeting our heroes a little bit like some of the best in those boxes of chocolates, can't we? Like the dairy milks, the Whispers, the Crunchies. But sometimes it can be a little bit more like the eclair. I know the eclairs were popular in the room, but never mind. Maybe Twix, Snickers, they're not in those, but maybe those kind of options. And so that's the first thing that we're going to kind of think about from that passage that Grace read for us. We live our lives like that, don't we? We live our lives longing for something greater. You see, we live our lives trying to, like meeting our heroes, we try to live our lives full of getting these experiences and following them through. We have this kind of, as humans, we have this inbuilt itch that we want to scratch, where we want our experiences, our lives to mean something. We don't want to get to the end of our life and think, oh, was that it? And so we chase after maybe the next paycheck, the next project, the next experience, the next holiday, the next memory, because we hope that these things are going to fill our lives when we feel that sense of emptiness. And sometimes it works for a little while, but then we're just coming back for more, aren't we? We chase after the best, and sometimes we get eclairs, don't we? Well, in that passage that Grace read for us, we saw, didn't we, that Israel, God's people, are in a dark place. It said that they were living in darkness, they were living in despair, sadness, grief, uncertainty, anxiousness. And maybe your year has felt a little bit like that too. And what God's people have done is they lived themselves as the hero. They thought that they could try and get that true freedom, that true satisfaction that would give them the best lives that they could do. And yet in doing that, they had turned away from the very one that they were created to live with, the one who qualified them to give them that true meaning, that true joy, that true value. God, the one who created them and loved them dearly. But we saw, didn't we, that into that darkness steps a great light. It said, a new day, a light has dawned. And so this passage was written hundreds of years before Jesus, and it's basically telling of him coming. And we can see what it means for God's people when we read through it. We saw it's going to be like a new day dawning. We're going to see how burdens will be lifted, that people are going to be rejoicing. And all of this is because of one person who we saw in verse 6, our memory verse. It will come up on screen. For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. And that's the second thing that we see. And it's the massive, scandalous claim of Christmas, is that we can know that ultimate hero that we long for. We can know that ultimate hero that we long for. Christmas, I wonder what makes Christmas for you. It might be kind of time with family. It might be the presents. It might be the food. It might be the lights, the tree. And all of these things are really great, but they ultimately come from what Christmas is all about. As Andy said, it's all about the Lord Jesus. And in this book here that we're giving away at the end, the author, he explores all these different things, these different aspects of Christmas, and how they point us towards the true heart and meaning of Christmas. Maybe you're here today or you're watching online and, either you don't believe in God or you do believe in God, or you're sort of just somewhere in the middle trying to work things out. Maybe it's worth asking a question. What would you want God to be like? What would you want God to be like? The God that is just as big that he created the infinity of the universe, and yet the same one that created just the absolute minutiae of the atoms that make us up. What would it be like to know that God? What would it be like to know him? Not just to know of him, like we might know of our heroes, but we never really get to know them. What would it be like to be truly know him? To truly be known, to be truly loved and truly cared for, truly understood by him? Maybe for you, that just feels just improbable, impossible. It's wishful thinking. It's a fairy tale. But the big scandalous claim of Christmas is that you can do that. You can know this God. You can know him personally. And actually, he created you so that you could know him personally, that you could enjoy life with him, life as it was designed to be lived. A life of true meaning, of true hope, and of true purpose. If that is what is on offer at Christmas, then surely that is worth at least looking into and exploring those claims. We gave you kind of just a few things that you could do to try and do that. You could take one of these flyers. If you're in Norwich, you can come in the new year to Hope Explored, a course that we're running. You can ask any questions that you have. And maybe if you're not in Norwich, you're just visiting over the holidays, then do take one of these other flyers as well for something called 3-2-1. It's just a free app you can download and where you can watch a couple of videos which ask a couple of questions that you can have a think about as well. But in our passage and in that verse, Isaiah gives us a little bit of a taster of what it might be like to meet this God. And he gives us kind of 4 names of what God is going to be like. Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. You see, we can often tell a lot about how a person is described. So let me kind of give you a test, okay? If I was to say these titles, Duke of Lancaster, Head of the Commonwealth, His Royal Highness, who's that? The King, King Charles III, absolutely. And if I said, wearer of red, he's a jolly man, he drives reindeers and he gives out presents, we would probably say Santa, okay? We can tell a lot by what a person is like and the titles they are given. And that's what Isaiah is doing. He is telling us about Jesus, our ultimate hero, Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. He's going to be one that draws near to us when life is hard, when we feel helpless or alone. He empathizes and he knows what life is like. He's the mighty God. He's creator. He's powerful. He intervenes. He's able to do something about the brokenness of life. And we see that fully at Easter, where he takes away sin on the cross. He's an everlasting Father as well, full of loving concern and compassion, more than any of our earthly fathers may have been or may not have been. He's the one that we're made to know deeply. And he's the Prince of Peace, not ultimately just to bring peace on earth, but to bring peace in our hearts, peace from that restlessness that we can feel, kind of living life on a constant treadmill. This is just something of what it is like to know that ultimate hero, Jesus, the one who does not disappoint, but the one that we were made to know, the one who truly makes sense of life. Well, you guys have done very well, kind of sitting, very, very good for listening. And we're going to sing a song now, Hark the Herald Angels Sing, the final song that we're going to sing. And we sing this line in it. We say, glory to the newborn King, peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. It's saying that we can know God despite our sin, despite the way that we put ourselves at the center of our lives. We live with ourselves as the hero. And we can see that we can know Jesus. Jesus came to earth so that we could know God. We could be reconciled. We could be back in relationship with him as we were made to live. And so please do stand as we sing. And let's think about this song as we sing of what it means for us that Jesus came into the earth.